Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to show you shade plant combinations using plants from the Southern Living Plant Collection. I've got the back of my yard here is mostly shady. I've used several of the plants from the Southern Living Plant Collection in this space, and I've got several that I had not planted yet. And it's going to give me the opportunity to kind of move them around and show you different plant combinations and why I think they work together. There are several different things to look at when you're, that you can use to determine whether plants, go together. One of those things that's probably used the most is foliage color. So like this Everillo Carex with this, this chartreuse foliage, versus something like this hydrangea right here, this Deer Dolores hydrangea, which has the dark green foliage. So obviously color is easy, and it's probably the most used. If you look at most plantings, people are getting contrast in their plants from using color. Another thing would be texture. And so again, with this grass, where you have this long, the long leaves on a grass versus the round foliage on the hydrangea, or the shiny dark green foliage that you might get on this camellia. This Mahonia that's in front of me, the soft caress Mahonia, also has a long, narrow leaf and looks great. If you use leaf differences, okay. And the third thing is the kind of the size and the shape of the plant. Size is, scale, is one issue that people need to think about depending on the size of your yard, the size of your house, that kind of thing. You want to use plant combinations where the plants maybe get larger, if you have a larger property, if you're trying to scale up to a large building, that kind of thing. This is a very small lot I'm on, and most of the plants I'm using are pretty small or upright and super narrow. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then in terms of plant shape, you can have rounded little balls, you can have upright conical pieces, you can have, this hydrangea will grow as just a, 4 to 5 foot mound. This particular camellia is a spreading camellia. We can have ground cover pieces like this heuchera that stay very low and tight to the ground. Same thing with this soft caress Mahonia. And so mixing up the shapes of your plants is also good. This Fats hedera right here, grows upright and narrow, and can actually be attached or climb on something behind something else, just giving you a vertical element versus a round element versus, a ground cover element like this grass. And so, combining those things. So I'm going to show you some different combinations and why I think they work together. So I really like this combo right here. I'm going to use this camellia, which is going to get taller toward the back, and then the soft caress Mahonia, which would be a kind of a mid-sized piece in this combo, and then this Everillo Carex out in front of that. And the camellia has the really nice, shiny, dark green foliage right there with a wider, broader leaf on it. And then you get this narrow foliage here on the Mahonia. And then that grass, we introduce color into our combination right there. Another thing I like about this grouping is this soft caress Mahonia blooms in the winter, the camellia blooms in the fall, and the Carex stays, this chartreuse color all year, and all three of these pieces are actually evergreen. So this is a Miss Scarlet Alyssium, and notice the shape of the foliage on it. It's kind of long and narrow. This plant right here can get pretty big. Works as a great screening plant. And I'm going to move over here and show you this Emerald Snow Pieris, which actually has almost the exact same foliage on it. This plant will stay quite a bit smaller. You don't have to have different foliage types on everything. These actually match, and almost perfectly match, and look great together. And we're going to just use size in this combination, where this one's going to stay smaller. The Alyssium is going to get quite a bit bigger. What I do know about Alyssium is they will thin out down at the bottom over there as they age, and these Pieris will look great under planting it, and then in combination with this Fats hedera right here. Fats hedera is a combination of ivy and Fatsia. It's like a non-aggressive ivy. It has to be trained on something. It can be grown on, attached and grown on something, or it can actually be used as a ground cover. And this is where we get our foliage contrast, between this and that narrower leaf on the Pieris and the Alyssium. Here's another Alyssium called Florida Sunshine Alyssium, and you can see how much this thing brightens up this dark corner with the morning sun hitting it, and it's great for that really tough plant, evergreen like this. And I really like it in this combination with the soft caress Mahonia and the Deer Dolores hydrangea. So here you get that broad leaf on this hydrangea macrophylla. This is Deer Dolores. And then you get that medium-sized leaf on that Florida Sunshine Elysium over there. Plus we get the foliage color, and then we get a completely different leaf texture on this soft caress Mahonia. And again, this soft caress Mahonia is going to bloom in during the winter time with yellow flowers, and then during the summer we're going to pick up the flowers from this Deer Dolores hydrangea, and then that Florida Sunshine Elysium is going to be that chartreuse color year-round. So I showed you Camellia sasanqua earlier in the video. This is a Camellia japonica, and it has much larger leaves, beautiful, shiny, dark green, evergreen leaves. Let me show you a couple things this thing goes with. So that Camellia japonica is going to get quite large, upwards of 10 feet. It makes a great screening plant, and again, I think it would look great with this Mountain Snow Pieris. Underplanting it, again, camellias tend to be a little bit thinner toward the bottom, and this would definitely fill in that understory underneath it. And again, I really like, I hate to use soft caress Mahonia so much, but this plant, it just works with almost everything in a shady space, because you get flower color contrast, foliage contrast, size and shape contrast. You get it just offers so much in a shady space. So, and again, in this group, that Camellia japonica is a winter flowering shrub. That Pieris is going to bloom in the late winter, early spring with white flowers, and the Mahonia is going to bloom a little earlier than that with the yellow. And the Mahonia is great for pollinators as well. So here I've matched up Marvel Mahonia. This is a Mahonia that can get 4, 5, 6 feet tall, so quite a bit bigger than the soft caress. Also blooms yellow in the winter, great for pollinators. And I combined it with a spreading Camellia sasanqua, a variety called Ruby that stays much smaller. It'll only get maybe 3 to 4 feet in height. These actually have complementary foliage on them, and then I've used a color contrast with this Everillo Carex to underplant them. So you're going to have something that's going to be 6 feet, something that's going to be about 4 feet, and something that'll be right around 1 foot tall. And I like the kind of the complementary foliage that these two have. So the last combination I'll show you is this Deer Dolores hydrangea, which has this really beautiful broadleaf, dark green foliage, and then the chartreuse colored Florida Sunshine Elysium right there, which will actually end up taller than the hydrangea. The hydrangea is just a little older in that container right now, but that would be in the back, and this would be in front of it, and then use this heuchera with the wine color foliage there. And we've got 3 different foliage colors and different textures and different sizes all in that grouping. A couple other quick notes. When you're shopping for plants, you know, I would definitely lay them out on the ground, move them around several times, you know, stare at them for a little while before you purchase them. Once you purchase them, I actually bring things back to my house, and I've got pots laying all over the place. I will rearrange things several times. I'll live with them for a few days, just water them in the containers as they dry out, and actually live with them in the spaces. You know, how far you have them spaced apart and that kind of thing. And maybe wait a week before you stick them in the ground. It's the thing I do very frequently. And there's rarely does the plant end up in the very first place that I set it down. So come home, make yourself a cup of coffee, rearrange the plant several more times, and you know, keep putting your eye on it. And once it feels right to you, sink them in the ground. Thank you very much for watching this video.